Have you ever wondered how an irrigation system knows when to water and for how long? It's not magic, it's all thanks to the control system. This system acts like the brain of your irrigation setup. While pipes and valves do the physical work, the controller, wires, splices, and sensors make the decisions. Whether you're managing a backyard or a sports field, understanding these parts will help you troubleshoot, upgrade, or design systems with confidence. I'm Dr. Denise DeBusk, and in this video, we'll explore the different types of controllers you're likely to see in the field, including smart controllers that use weather or soil data, battery-powered models for off-grid areas, and decoder systems that simplify wiring in large installations. By the end, you'll be able to confidently choose the right controller type for a project and explain how it functions. Essential skills for any irrigation professional. The controller is truly the command center of the irrigation system. It's where all the decisions are made. Using a programmed schedule, the controller sends low voltage power through valve wires to activate the valves in a specific sequence. This schedule determines how long and how often each zone is watered. You'll see in the diagram that the controller connects to valves through valve wires and splices. These splices are small but mighty. They're responsible for delivering the signal to the valve's solenoid. Because they're a potential failure point, proper installation and waterproofing are crucial. And there's more to the story. Rain shutoff devices like rain sensors or soil moisture sensors are connected to the controller to automatically suspend watering when nature has already done the job. Some sensors even interrupt watering while it's raining. These aren't just helpful, they're often required by local codes to prevent water waste. Most controllers also include a manual mode, so you can activate valves on demand without changing the program's schedule. Whether for troubleshooting, repairs, or just giving a thirsty plant a little extra love, manual control keeps things flexible. So while the controller may look like a simple box on the wall, it's doing a lot behind the scenes, and every connection matters. Let's decode the basics. First, you set the current time and day so the controller knows what time it is. Then you create a program, a combination of water days, start times, and run times. Water days tell the controller when to irrigate, like Thursday, Sunday. Start times tell it when to begin, and run times tell it how long each zone operates. With this structure, you can customize watering schedules for different types of plants, soil, or microclimates. Want to adjust all your run times for seasonal changes? Use Seasonal Adjust. Just increase the percentage in summer and decrease it in cooler months. Some systems even let you program different percentages per month. Great for conserving water automatically. Also, be aware of the three main operating modes. Run follows the schedule. Off stops all automatic watering. Manual lets you turn on a zone instantly, great for repairs or one-time watering. Here's what really happens. When the current day and time match what's programmed, the controller sends a 20 to 30 volt signal to a valve. The solenoid receives the current, a magnetic field forms, the internal plunger lifts, and water flows. Then the current returns through the common wire, completing the circuit. After the set runtime, the system shifts to the next station in the schedule. It's a well-orchestrated electrical routine. You'll encounter a few types of controllers. Hybrid controllers are most common. Think big dials with digital buttons. Solid-state models are fully digital and support complex programming, popular in commercial systems. Then there's the old-school electromechanical type. These use mechanical timers and motors, like old alarm clocks. They're still out there, mostly in single-zone setups. Let's take a quick tour of a traditional irrigation controller. On this slide, you can see all the main parts labeled. These are what keep everything working. The cabinet is the shell that protects the controller. Outdoor ones usually have a hinge lockable door to keep out water and tampering. Indoor models just have a small cover. The transformer takes your regular household power, about 120 volts, and steps it down to low voltage, usually 24 to 30 volts, so the controller can operate the valves. Outdoor models have the transformer inside. Indoor ones often just plug into a wall outlet. Many outdoor controllers also have a junction box where the pigtail, that's the power cord, connects safely. The cord should be secure so it's not pulling on the wiring inside. On the front panel, you'll find the display, the programming dial, and the buttons. Some panels swing open so you can get to the wiring behind them. The display shows things like the time, what zone is running, your schedules, and any error messages. The dial is how you switch between settings, like setting the time, choosing a program, or adjusting run times. The buttons are how you enter all those details. Inside, a ribbon cable connects the front panel to the main board. It's delicate, so be careful if you open it up. The power terminal strip is where the transformer's wires connect to the board. Sensor terminals let you hook up things like rain or soil moisture sensors to pause watering when it's not needed. The pump start or master valve terminal activates a pump or master valve whenever irrigation starts. Some controllers have a valve test terminal that gives constant low voltage power for troubleshooting valves. The common terminal is the shared return path for all your valve wires. The output module or terminal strip is where each zone wire connects. Modular controllers also have a module lock to keep those pieces in place. The reset button brings the controller back to factory settings. Just know it wipes out all your programs. And finally, the battery compartment holds a backup battery to keep time and schedules during a power outage. Here's another controller with the same parts labeled. Now let's compare indoor and outdoor irrigation controllers. They may look similar on the surface, but they're designed for very different environments. Indoor controllers are lightweight, compact, and often have a plug-in transformer. They're installed in dry protected places like garages, pump houses, or storage rooms. Outdoor controllers, on the other hand, are built to survive the elements. They come with waterproof cabinets, often lockable, and are made from durable materials like UV stabilized plastic or stainless steel. They usually have a built-in transformer and are either hardwired or plug-in depending on the setup. So when you're selecting a controller, make sure you choose one rated for the environment it will live in. Using an indoor controller outside without protection, that's a no-go. Sensor-based or smart controllers take irrigation to the next level. They adjust your watering automatically using real-time data. Some monitor soil moisture levels, while others use weather sensors to track temperature, rainfall, and ET rates. The goal? Only water when plants actually need it, saving water, money, and plants. Soil moisture sensor controllers help irrigation systems make smarter decisions. These controllers use sensors installed in the root zone of turf or shrubs to measure actual soil moisture levels. Once calibrated for the site, the sensor communicates with the controller using hardwire, radio, or a decoder-based two-wire system to let it know when the soil really needs water. If the soil is already moist, the system skips watering. These systems are brand-specific, meaning the sensor must be compatible with the controller. They're used in both residential and commercial setups, but in larger systems, they're most often paired with two-wire decoder controllers to manage multiple zones efficiently. The result? More precise irrigation and less wasted water. Weather-based controllers use on-site or remote sensors to gather weather data and adjust irrigation accordingly. Local sensors might be mounted in the landscape. Remote systems pull data from weather systems via the internet or cellular networks. The controller uses that data, like rainfall, temperature, or humidity, to reduce or skip watering. It's hands-off conservation that works smarter, not harder. Let's take a look at remote weather sensor controllers, a powerful tool for adjusting irrigation based on regional conditions, without having a sensor physically installed on site. Instead of measuring weather directly from the landscape, these systems gather data from publicly accessible weather stations, like those at airports, universities, or local municipalities. That data is transmitted to a central server via internet or radio, and then sent to the controller or an interface connected to it. The controller combines this regional weather information with the site-specific programming you've already set, and automatically adjusts run times to match real-world conditions. It's a hands-off, high-tech way to water more efficiently, especially useful in large-scale or urban irrigation systems where physical sensor placement might be limited. When you don't have access to power, think medians, remote gardens, or temporary systems, battery-operated controllers are a great solution. Some fit inside valve boxes and control 1 to 6 valves. Others screw into hose bibs. Many modern versions are solar powered and can be controlled via app or remote. They're small but mighty. Decoder systems are a game changer for large installations. Instead of running wires from the controller to each valve, you only need a 2-wire cable. Each decoder is installed near a valve and has an address. When the controller sends a command to that address, the decoder turns the valve on. This setup supports dozens to hundreds of valves, and it cuts down dramatically on wiring costs and complexity. At the top of the technology pyramid is the central control system. These systems allow a PC or server to manage many irrigation controllers, sometimes across entire cities or golf courses. They communicate through radio, internet, or cellular, and can adjust programs, log data, send alerts, and even respond to weather changes. If you're managing multiple properties, this is the powerhouse you want in your corner. Let's wrap it up with the big picture. The controller is the decision maker. It tells each valve when to open and for how long. Traditional systems rely on well-programmed schedules and strong wiring. But newer technologies make things even smarter. Sensor-based controllers let your system adapt to real-time conditions. Battery-operated controllers are great when there's no access to power. Decoder systems simplify wiring in large-scale landscapes, and if you're managing a city park system or an HOA, central control lets you do it all from your desk. The better you understand these systems, the more effective and water efficient your irrigation designs and maintenance routines will be.